tunataka wawekwe PNP. Tunataka hizi pesa zote kwa mpigo. Sasa hivi tunazungumzia ushuru huko juu. Ule mfumo wa SHA na SHI haufanyi. Tunaona wagonjwa wetu pale tunahangaika nao. Kwa hivyo tukikuwa pale tunahangaika na hao wagonjwa wetu na ilhali hata sisi wenyewe maisha yetu hayaboreshwi.
Niko na kijana hapa alianguka na pikipiki. Nilileta wanataka kukata kidole. Sasa amemaliza wiki 2. Na nimefika madaktari wamekoma. Na hiyo kidole imeoza. Sasa nitafanya nini? Hakuna yenye nitafanya. Na mtoto ndio huyo kidole inaoza. Hiyo kidole sasa mguu yote itaisha. Watakatia juu. Nitafanya nini mimi sina pesa? Nitapeleka wapi mtoto yangu? Mtoto wangu atakosa mguu.
Tumeenda mgomo kwa sababu management ya MTRH wameweza kutimiza zile demands zetu, na sio new demands. In fact, sisi kama madaktari tunashangaa kwa nini management ya serikali inakubali tuende mgomo, kwa sababu yale mambo ambayo tunazungumzia si mambo mapya. Kwa mfano, mambo ya promotions, kupandisha daktari cheo. Ni daktari ni neurosurgeon, ameenda mpaka ka subspecialize, amekuwa a top neurosurgeon, amespecialize na ka subspecialize. Alafu kutoka 2022 huyo daktari anapewa promotion letter, lakini kupandishwa cheo kwa payslip hakuna. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha kwamba department ya HR kuna shida. Nini uajiri daktari kwa contract for 6 months na after 6 months unakosa kurenew na renew after another 6 months, na huyo daktari anaendelea kufanya kazi kwa contract for almost 5 years.
All right, moving on, the bodies of Justice Musiemi and Martin Mwao, who went missing on December 17th of 2024 and were found at a Nairobi funeral home. A postmortem examination conducted by government pathologist, Dr. Richard Njoroge, revealed that the two men died from multiple injuries, including chest, abdominal, and head injuries. Despite the findings, Dr. Njoroge confirmed that the bodies will not be released to the families until DNA tests are conducted to confirm the identities, citing decomposition as the reason for the delay. The families of the two men have urged the government to investigate the deaths and ensure that those responsible for the killings are brought to justice.
We finished the post-mortems. Our findings, the first body, like I have mentioned, was very, very decomposed. But the main findings is there were multiple abdominal, chest, and head injuries. So, and we also have what we call defense injuries on the arms. So it looked like there was a struggle, because you know, when you try to defend yourself, you will get what we call defense injuries on the arms and the wrists. So that's the first body. The second body was also very decomposed. The main findings was scalp or head injuries. He also had a posterior abdominal wall, abdominal wall and thoracic injuries. Again, it was multiple injuries. The other main finding on the second body was injuries to the neck, and so the strap muscles of the neck. And so we came to the conclusion that the cause of death of the second body was manual neck compression.
Moving on to matters politics now, President William Ruto has expressed confidence that his 30 years of experience in the political arena will secure him a second term in office, dismissing claims from his critics that he will serve only one term. Speaking in Mandera County on Wednesday during the meeting with local elders during a second-day tour, President William Ruto addressed concerns regarding his political future, stating that he is well prepared to face his opponents in the 2027 elections.
Zingine nyinyi mnatishwa sijui one term, sijui how many terms, sijui nini. That is not my concern. 2027, kwani 2027 itakuwa uchaguzi tofauti kuliko ile yote tumefanya? Kwani iko shida gani? Watu watulize boli, mambo ya 2027 tutakutana 2027. Mimi nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Mimi nimekuwa naibu ya rais miaka 10. Ndio huyu mimi ni rais. Miaka itakuwa 5. Sasa mtu atanitisha na kitu gani? ati nisikue nini? What is it that I have not become? Tunaelewana? So hii mambo yako sijui nini, na kwanza hata shida ya wale wananitisha ni mtu ambaye hajawahi kuwa rais, ajui hata vile ya kukuwa rais inakuanga namna gani. Sasa
all right, moving on to the corridors of justice. Police Commander Adamson Bungei appeared in court on Wednesday to respond to charges in connection with the death of 29-year-old Rex Kanyike Masai, who was killed during widespread protest in June of the previous year. Masai died after allegedly being struck by a live bullet fired by the police during the violent demonstration that swept across the nation. In court, Bungei denied the accusations, asserting that police forces did not shoot Masai.
That time and moment was around 2:45 or 2:50 hours. I received a call from then OSPD, that is Officer Commanding Police Station Central Division, that there was a report made by one of the attendants within the police hospital that there was somebody who was brought to the hospital and the same is succumbed to the injuries.
Was in charge of any deployment at that time?
We didn't have specific deployment to mention that somebody was in charge. It was about a situation that was being responded to. And in police service, the operation or mode operandi depends on the situation.
20th, I was deployed to man the KCC gate, which is just opposite the governor's office. To me, those are criminals, they are not police officers, Your Honor.
So you do not see any semblance to yourself?
Even to police officers, Your Honor.
All right, Ndindi Nyoro, the chairperson of the National Assembly's Budget and Appropriation Committee, has reiterated the committee's commitment to supporting the Office of the Auditor General in its efforts to ensure public resources are utilized responsibly. Speaking in Mombasa, Nyoro emphasized the critical role of the Auditor's General Office in overseeing the increasing government expenditures. Nyoro acknowledged that the public's trust in the government relies heavily on the responsible management of public funds, stressing the necessity of safeguarding these resources to avoid misuse.
Article 2298 says that I audit. First of all, 7 says audit reports to be submitted to Parliament or the relevant county assembly. Then 2298, which is the last article on audit and accountability, says within 3 months after receiving an audit report, Parliament or county assembly shall debate and consider the report and take appropriate action. Take appropriate action is in your hands. Sanctioning these people, requiring action, requiring implementation of recommendations, it is in your hands. It is in your purview. So, Honorable Chair, that will always be my challenge to you, even as you challenge me back on whether I'm impactful. I can only be impactful if Parliament takes my reports and makes decisions on them and requires action on them. Outsourcing of the low-risk and small clients will allow the office to optimally apply our audit staff to the high-risk clients, which will enhance effectiveness in the delivery of our mandate. It will also ensure that audit reports for all entities are submitted to Parliament and county assemblies in time, because we shall be working concurrently with the outsourced teams under my supervision. However, we want to outsource 500 audits, meaning that we have a deficit of about 150 million Kenya shillings. And we'll appeal to the committee to allocate us this additional funds purely for outsourcing under Supplementary 2 when you start the discussions to facilitate this outsourcing to undertake the low-risk audits.
Without the proper role that the office plays, then we could not optimize on the resources that we appropriate. And that is why we continually want to support the office in all matters, including budgetary allocations, so that the office continues to be strengthened to deal with the ever-rising expenditure of government, so that whatever coin that is spent in terms of public resources can be traced even to its utility, so that as Kenyans continue to play a critical role in supporting public service through contributions in many ways, that we do our best to give value for money.
Right. At the same time, the Senate has accused the executive of intentionally withholding funding to undermine its operations, particularly in fulfilling its constitutional oversight role. The move has prompted senators to threaten defiance against laws requiring both the National Assembly and Senate's approval, raising concerns about the potential constitutional crisis in the coming days. The accusations emerged during a 3-day midterm assessment retreat for senators held at Enshapai Spa in Naivasha. Deputy Minority Leader Enoch Wambua strongly criticized the Parliamentary Service Commission for siding with the National Assembly at the expense of the Senate, resulting in a financial crisis within the institution.
But more fundamentally, we have a serious challenge when it comes to the funding of the Senate. We as senators strongly believe and hold the view that the Senate is deliberately being denied funding for the sole purpose of weakening the institution. Be told, and I have the advantage that I was in the Senate in the last Parliament, we never got anywhere near where we are today. There is a unit in the PSC called Joint Services, a unit that, in all honesty, is taking so much money from the parliamentary budget to undertake purely administrative roles at the expense of funding the core function of one arm of the legislature called the Senate. And so this matter has become worse under this administration. In the previous administration, it wasn't like this. And as we are saying, we shall confront it for whatever it is. I thank you. The matter of abductions is a very, very serious issue. I have gone on record many times. I want to go on record once again and tell the president that the buck stops with him. That's where the buck stops. The first responsibility of any government in the community of civilized states is to ensure the security of its citizens. If a government, for whatever reason, is either unwilling or unable to provide security to its citizens, then that government has no business being in office.
All right, moving on. Aga Khan, the billionaire philanthropist and spiritual leader of the Ismaili Muslims, passed away at the age of 88. His death was announced on Wednesday by the Aga Khan Development Network, his charitable organization. Prince Karim Aga Khan, who served as the 49th Imam of the Ismaili Muslim community, died in Lisbon, Portugal, surrounded by his family. He was born in Sweden but held British citizenship and resided in the palace in France. Aga Khan will be remembered for his significant contributions to humanitarian efforts, particularly through the Aga Khan Development Network, which operates hundreds of hospitals, educational projects, and religious initiatives worldwide. His impact was deeply felt in both religious and development circles as he dedicated his life to improving the lives of millions in various sectors, including healthcare, education, and economic development. In addition to his philanthropic work, Aga Khan was the founder of the Nation Media Group. All right, rest in peace, Prince Karim Aga Khan. All right, at that note, we take a short commercial break. We'll be back. By the United States to suspend funding. Mudavadi emphasized that the mission, which is part of a broader international peacekeeping effort, receives financial support from several countries, and thus it will continue to as planned. Speaking to the press, Mudavadi addressed concerns about the sustainability of Kenya's involvement in maintaining peace in Haiti, stating that the peacekeeping operation is well funded and that alternative sources of financial support have been secured. He assured that the activities of the Kenyan security forces in Haiti will proceed without interruption.
The process is on. We will do. I have to admit that we will do better if the resources were even more. But that does not mean that as things stand, the Haiti mission has come to stand.
The UN Trust Fund for Haiti is a fund that supports the multinational security support MSS mission in Haiti, as established in October 2023 by the UNSCR Resolution 2699. That's the UN Security Council Resolution 2699. And it is a Kenyan-led mission which has police deployments from not just Kenya, but Guatemala, Jamaica, El Salvador, Bahamas, and Belize, among others. As at the end of 2024, US dollars 110.3 million had been pledged by several countries, including the USA, Canada, France, Turkey, Spain, Italy, and Algeria, of which $85 million has been received by the fund, including substantial amounts from the United States. So you can see there's only a difference of about 25 million US dollars. This undisbursed US contributions to the trust fund is only about 15 million US dollars. So you still have another $10 million from other countries. And this is what has been proposed by the presidential directive of President Donald Trump. However, it's good to state very clearly that the fund has sufficient resources to continue underwriting the mission until the end of September 2025. So there is no crisis. The transition of the mission to full UN mission to ensure financial sustainability is a key priority to which Kenya and all partners are committed. So it's very, very clear. We don't have a crisis. The US has only posted about 15 million US dollars, and yet we already have 85 million US dollars. And so we'll be also talking to other countries to ensure that whatever deficit that there is, as at now, shall be met before September, because we can go up to September to fulfill the obligations of this mission to Haiti. So there is no cause for worry, and we remain confident and hopeful that we shall continue even to engage other, including the US itself, to see the importance of ensuring that this mission.
All right, moving on. Former Likoni District Criminal Investigation Officer Charles Onyango, also known as the arraigned before Magistrate Alex Iduku at the Mombasa Law Courts on charges of corruption. Onyango, who was arrested on Tuesday at his rural home in Oyugis and held at Port Police Station in Mombasa, is accused of requesting and receiving a bribe of 20,000 Kenya shillings in November 2019 from a suspect whose case he was investigating. Onyango, who denied the accusation, was represented in court by his lawyer, who raised concerns regarding his previous court appearance. The lawyer claimed that Onyango had been previously arraigned and had not received a refund of his 50,000 Kenya shillings cash bail, requesting more reasonable bond terms for his client. Magistrate Iduku set the bond bail at 500,000 Kenya shillings with a surety of the same amount, or an alternative cash bail of 200,000 Kenya shillings. The case will be mentioned on February 19th of 2025 before the same magistrate.
Your Honor, the accused person has cooperated for the last 6 years. He has honorably retired and was yesterday arrested in Oyugis, where he now lives, with this offense, which has taken the ESCC 6 years to investigate. So, Your Honor, we urge you to consider those facts.
The cash bail has been taken to Treasury. As we speak, the IO confirms to me they are following up, because it's a process that takes a while to retrieve the said cash bail, but he will be returned the said cash bail. On the issue of bail and bond, we pray to this court, in light of the nature of the offenses that the accused faces, that he be given stringent bond terms, due to the fact that the IO has just told me that he went missing around the time the DPP gave the decision to charge.
That offenses under ASECA carry FT sentences if one is convicted. But of course, there is a presumption of innocence on the part of the accused person. The main consideration is whether he will come to court once he is released on bond. No serious reason has been given to show that he will abscond or is a flight risk. So applying the principles above, I hereby admit the accused person to a bond of Kenya shillings 500,000 with one surety of similar amount, or in the alternative, to pay cash bail in the sum of Kenya shillings 200,000 with one conduct person. We mentioned this matter on 19th of February before this court.
All right, moving on, the government is set to introduce incentives aimed at encouraging the private sector to absorb more interns, according to Principal Secretary for the State Department of University Education and Research, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala. Speaking at the University of Embu during the official opening of the annual Career Week, Dr. Inyangala highlighted that this initiative is designed to better equip graduates across the country with the essential skills and knowledge needed to thrive in today's competitive job market. Tabitha Wanjiro now reports.
During the official opening of the Career Week at the University of Embu, PS Beatrice Inyangala emphasized that this initiative aims to equip graduates with the necessary knowledge and skills to thrive in the modern job market. She underscored the importance of collaboration between universities and stakeholders to ensure graduates are well prepared to meet industry demands.
To the business leaders and organizations present here today, we feel really privileged to connect with you, and I encourage you to strengthen your partnerships with universities, offer internships, host knowledge sharing forums, and support career placement services.
Inyangala urged the universities to align their training programs with the evolving needs of the job market to better prepare the students for the workforce. She also shared that the Kenya universities and colleges' central placement will need to take a more active role in offering career guidance to the students than ever before.
We also, as a State Department, have a saga that you have interacted with in the past, the Kenya Universities Central Placement Service. It has a mandate to also provide career and guidance services. And so going forward, COOPs will be more deliberate about stepping out and helping you students think very broadly about what you want to be.
Meanwhile, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Embu, Professor Daniel Mugendi, explained that the purpose of organizing the Career Week, which has drawn various industry players, is to foster professional interactions between students and stakeholders, allowing them to gain insight into the demands of the job market.
This Career Week is therefore meant to provide our students with a platform to engage and learn about emerging trends, as well as gain insight into the expectations of the job market. In addition, we strive to continuously reform our curriculum to align with the demands of the job market.
At the same time, Strathmore University Vice-Chancellor Dr. Vincent Ogutu echoed this sentiment, urging students to apply their acquired skills to make a positive impact on the society.
People, as Professor Mugendi told you, are looking for skills. It's not about the certificate. They're looking for the skills. If you can demonstrate that you can add value to that organization, you're one of the most talented and skilled people they've ever met, then you can actually negotiate even for a higher salary. And you're definitely getting the job. But that's because you can add value to someone.
Tabitha Wanjiro reporting for EBN TV.
Right, moving on, government through the Adi Water Works Development Agency has completed a Kenol Makutano waste treatment plant in Nanga Gatanga village, Gatanga constituency, at a cost of 1.2 billion Kenya shillings. The new facility, which is expected to play a key role in serving the rapidly growing Kenol town and Kabati, is aligned with the government's initiative to build affordable housing in Murang'a County. Thus, Destiny Mbada now reports the plant will benefit over 70,000 people, with connections expected to begin immediately and completed within 2 months.
According to Engineer Joseph Kamau, the CEO of Athi Waterworks Development Agency, the plant is set to serve over 70,000 residents with service connections starting immediately and expected to be completed within 2 months. He added that apart from receiving waste from Murang'a South residents, the plant will also serve as a treatment work where the waste will be recycled for various uses. The CEO mentioned that Athi Water has several ongoing projects in Murang'a County aimed at serving the community.
In Murang'a County, Athi Water has developed various programs. Where we are in the neighborhood of Ithanga, and we've done a massive project to serve the Ithanga region, Ithanga water supply, which was actually commissioned by His Excellency the President last year. We've done other projects such as in Gatanga, distribution and last mile networks. We are right now doing Madhioya water supply last mile connectivity, and we are also on the ground in Keharu doing last mile networks, plus also within Maragua urban, Maragua town, we shall be doing distribution, massive distribution of the Maragua bulk water system, and we have a contract to ensure that Kenyona up to Madeira water project is expanded and enhanced to ensure that we can bring to Madeira tank a total of about 15,000 cubic meters additional, so that we can be able to serve the Lower Kegumo, Kadara, and these areas of Makutano.
Engineer Dixon Ongesa from Athi Water Development Agency stated that the treated water will flow into the nearby river for reuse, urging residents to take ownership of the project. He explained the entire recycling process, noting that the plant will handle approximately 3,000 cubic meters of waste daily, starting with the first stage of anaerobic digestion where oxygen is not utilized.
The plant will be able to serve ultimately about 70,000 people within this neighborhood, and it will be a game changer as it will provide good and hygienic wastewater management and sanitation systems for Keno Makutano urban area. This plant is substantially complete. We are now undertaking final inspection and hand over to the water company for operations, and we expect that this should be done early at the
Ongesa warned residents against consuming the water immediately due to the presence of Escherichia coli bacteria, which can cause typhoid, as the plant does not have a stage for chlorine treatment. However, after the treated water mixes with the river, for a while, it becomes safe for consumption.
Primary treatment ni ile treatment ya kwanza kama primary school. Ya kwanza mwanzo. Hapo kwa primary treatment ni purely biological process whereby hiyo ya kwanza ni bacteria, anaerobic bacteria, ndio inafanya kusafisha, break down the biosolids in the waste. From the primary treatment it goes to the secondary treatment, which is now where you have the facultative ponds, where you have aerobic processes taking place. Ile yenye kuna hewa sasa, huku umekuwa mbele hakuna hewa, huku kwa ya pili facultative ponds kuna hewa. Your hewa ina break down the biosolids further na ina allow time, there is a detention time. Juu hapo maji yatakaa kwa muda, hayatatoka immediately.
Mbada, EBN TV.
Alright, thank you Destiny Mbada for that particular report. It is exactly 34 minutes past the top of the hour. On that note, we wrap up our bulletin here at EBN Prime Edition. Our sign language interpreter is Laura Otieno. My name is Martin Macharia, signing off. You have yourself a good night, and as always, let's meet again when God says we do.